Lasan looked over the narrow Arcahon Channel, where the tide raced across the shoal. Beyond the sandal banks, the surging grey waves were torn by wind into the maelstrom of broken white water at miles which, beating southward, was a little ship. The ship was a British brig shop with two tall masts and a fast driver sail and her stern, her black and white banded hull head, Lassen new 18 gun. Her sail were refit, but even so she seemed to flung through the waves, and Lassen saw how high the spray fountained from the brig's steam. Our enemies, he said medley, are having a disturbed breakfast. Yes, sir, the sergeant laughed. Lassen cradled his coffee mug. There was something vulnerable about his face, a drawn and frightened look that made his men protective of him. The new commandant Lassen wished to become a priest when this war ended, and they liked him for it. But also know that he would fight as a soldier until the last shot of the war had been fired. How now he started at the British brig. You saw her last night at sundown, sir. The surgeon was certain, and there were light out there at night. He's watching us, isn't he? Lassen smiled. He's seeing what we're made of. The sergeant slapped the gun as a reply. Lassen turned to state thoughtfully into the far courtyard. A warning had come from Bidiax that he was too young. A warning had come from Bordeaux that he must to prepare for a British attack, but Dix had sent him no men to reinforce his shrunken garrison. Lassen could man his big gun, or he could protect the land walls. But he could not do both. If the British landed troops and sent warships into the channel, the Lassen would be trapped between the hammer and the anvil. He turned back. He turned back to the stare at the British brig. If Bordeaux was right, the inquisitive Carp was making reconnaissance, and Lassen must deceive the watcher. He must make them think the front was not thinly defended, that a landing by troops would be unnecessary. Lieutenant Gurley came yawning from the green-painted door of the officer quarters. Lance hailed him. Lieutenant, sir, no plague today, and no washing hung to dry on the barracks roof. Not that only was likely to dry washing in this weather. Crater, his blue jacket unbuttoned off above his breast, frowned. No flag, sir. Lassen turned back to see the brig shop take into the rain sodden wind. He saw a silver of sail, a spume up from, and he imagined the locket officer, that brand tarnished by salt straying the grey crossing through there. Spyglass, he knew that such a little ship sent to spy on the French coast often stopped the fishing boat and worked close inshore today, then, and every day for the next week. Only those fisherman woman Henry Lassen turns will be allowed past the gun of the test the budge. They will be encouraged to take English gold and encouraged to drink a glass of dark rum in English cabins, and encouraged to sell lobster to blue coat Englishmen, and he turned they would tell a plausible lie or two on behalf of Harry Lassen. Then, with a roar from this great passive gun that waited for employment, Harry Lassen would strike a blow for France. He smiled, pleased with his notion, and went to breakfast. Before dinner, Sharp faced a miserable and unhappy few moments. The answer, he reflected, is no. Regimental Sergeant Major Patrick Harper stood in the small fourth lower of Jen, lounging, and twisted his wet shako in thin, strong finger. I talked with Mr. Allenbore, sir, so I did, and he said I could come. I mean, we're only sitting around like was her woman in a bloody drug, so we are theirs. So we are. There a new colonel come in. Patrick, he need his RSM. Harper from needs his major too. He can't lose both of us. Sharp did not have the power to deny the Prince of Wales own volunteers the service of this massive Irishman. And if you come, Patrick, the new man will only appoint a new RSM. You will don't want that. Harper uh, frowned. I'd rather be in a scrap if one's going, sir. And Mr. Frederickson will not take a miss nor will he. Sharp could not be persuaded. No, the Hartman 4 inches taller than Sharper, 6 feet. Granted, I could take 6 late, sir, so I could. You have to be 6 first. But I'm happier. Harper pointed to his mouth. I've got a thought touch, something dispirited, sir. And Sharp saw the Harper did indeed have a red tunic and slowly overcome. Does it hurt?